shine some light on you.
All right, Anna Maria, what do you say? Are we ready?
Born ready. Hi, everyone, and welcome to yet another Butter Bootcamp session. I am going to open the room, Erich, if that's fine for you, so then no one is hitting the doorbell to interrupt us.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to do a quick check here. So if you're on camera, wiggle a finger or a hand if this is not your first session, if you've been here before at the bootcamp. And if your camera's off, just wiggle an emoji from your react button. Okay, I see some wiggles. Yes, we're friends already. We're friends. Like, do I even mention who I am and what I'm doing here? Okay, so my name is Anna Maria, and I am leading this beautiful Butter community project, and I am so super excited about the bootcamp that's happening this week. We are running a different session every day, actually twice per day, to account for several time zones. And today's session is all about breakout rooms. Give me a reaction to the breakout rooms. How much you love them, how much you don't love them. Do you have no idea what they are? Are you using them? Yes, I see some love from the breakouts. That's great. Before we continue, I want to make a quick mention that this session is being recorded, like all of our events. If you are not feeling comfortable with that, feel free to pick a cute avatar and use your emojis to show us your love. Otherwise, we'd love to see you on camera. And James, hey, really nice to see you too. I am excited to introduce our host for today. Erich is a mentor and a sparring partner to different entrepreneurial minds who want to, watch out, grow customers' mental, emotional, and physical health, create human digital learning engagement and experiences with innovative, personalized, and digital services. So what better person to walk us through the breakouts than a human digital guru? Erich, thank you so much for hosting us this afternoon or morning. Feel free to take it away.
Yeah, welcome everyone as well. We have English as a language. I see we are from maybe from different languages and continents. So I try to speak slowly, but sometimes I get excited when it's about butter. So forgive me if I'm getting too fast, and let me know if it's too fast. And I think we have Anna Maria, we have Jessica. So if there's anything in terms of the chat, and Martin, thanks. I learned some things in the morning as well, and I adapted very quickly. So there's people here to help us if there's questions. By the way, let's quickly have an overlook of what is happening in the next 55 minutes or so. So it's about breakouts in Butter, and I hope you can see the slides. And I don't know how it is, but I'm like 30 years a trainer, and sometimes facilitation was a little bit like this lady. And, with virtual breakout, it was the same. Sometimes, with all these Zooms, GoToMeetings, I'm doing that for more than 10 years virtually. Sometimes you get so concentrated that you forget to smile, and you get so much focus on the technology, and your heartbeat raises, and you're sometimes also, I would say, stressed. So I don't know, maybe you have felt that before a little bit, where you had this view, where you had this face on camera, and let's see what we can do different in the next few minutes, and maybe we can change this phase a little bit. I learned something from you this morning, Martin, and I tried to move that a little bit further. For me, breakouts is around 3 C's. We use it's group work the same, but when we do it virtually, about enabling communication between people, that they create a connection, and of course that they achieve commitment somehow. So what we want to do is we want to create results, we want to create decisions, we want to discuss, and we don't want to step around with whether the technology is working or not, whether you join in or not. And what we can do today is basically a little bit like this. I have to switch here. 3 steps we're going to do in the next 53 minutes. Experience as a participant how this looks like the breakouts in Butter. Then we give you a look behind the facilitator's curtain. So how is this prepared? What is helping us to do this? And we have enough time, Anna Maria, I guess, for getting questions from you answered. And the whole thing we do here is, if you leave in about more than 50 minutes to feel more informed, confident, or inspired to give Butter breakouts a try, then we have done a good journey together and we have invested good time together. So that's it, basically 3 steps to go. I think we are ready. Let's use the time and let's jump into a decoding challenge. So we have prepared a little bit of a game for you because we want to avoid death by PowerPoint. I don't know if you have ever experienced death by PowerPoint. Give me a sign. Death by PowerPoint means after 7 minutes, you're used to slides and to my voice, and the brain starts to fade away and to go to sleep and find other things. So we don't want to do that. Keep it very interactive and engaging. So I've talked enough. Let's do something together. Let's experience the breakouts. And what we have is something which is called a so-called decoding challenge. So in the next 13 minutes and 23 seconds, I want to use your brain, and I invite you to use your brain to decode something. We are searching a word with 8 letters. This is our common challenge. This is what we can do together and which we can solve together. I know it's already for some people in the afternoon, or it might be in the morning. So let's use that and let's start this challenge. And the challenge is starting right now, and we continue the experience. There is right now 27 people in the room. So great. And the question is, how is the mood of everyone? And what we can do next, let me show you very quickly, is the following. We are going to send you in groups, in randomized groups. And the only thing you have to do there is share your mood. The way how you do it, you see here, there's 4 different, I don't know, alien signs, but they can smile obviously as well. And you stamp your mood. So you go there with your mouse and you stamp it. And we have set up different groups, and that's what we're going to do. I just look into this. If there's any questions, please let us know in the chat. I hope the task is understandable, and we're going to help you, of course. And I would say, let's start it right now. You're going to be sent in randomized groups for the next 2 minutes and 47 seconds. And if you have done your stamp, you're also allowed to talk to each other and find a little bit out who is in the room. So let's start it. Ready? Good. Here we're going to start the breakout groups. Hello and welcome back. Is it because the people found back into the main room? So I have to apologize, as we have just 60 minutes. We have seen that you're getting into discussions and introducing, and all this connecting and so on. We have to look a little bit at that. So we want to give you a different experience. So please forgive me. I've given you this notice, and this was just the first experience. By the way, let me double check. Who has found the first letter?
Wait a minute. You didn't tell us there was a letter.
There was a letter.
What?
Of course, there was a letter.
Sneaky.
Maybe I can help again.
Monica has it.
Okay, sometimes we oversee information when we get into connecting with people, no problem. But I hope you can see it. So this was my last hint. I think the other ones you can find out very quickly, right? So the first letter was an E, and we need 7 more letters to go. And we have prepared another breakout experience for you. So we are still in this first part where you can experience as a participant how it is. This was the first one. So if you're ready for a second one, then let us know. And if you are not ready and you're still with us, we just provide you a nice experience with breakout rooms. So what we are going to do next is the following. We're going to send you in a breakout. And there's one feature I like a lot. I'm a trainer for 29 years, but I always wanted to have a very natural way. Remember, when you come into a hotel, you go to the tables and you talk to the people, right? So you can switch between tables for yourself. You can decide for yourself. And this is called rooms, breakout rooms in Butter. And I liked it a lot. So what we have done is we have prepared several rooms. And in the rooms, you find hints, cues, and letters. The only thing you need to know at this moment is how can you switch the rooms that you can find these different letters. And let me show you very quickly how this is going to look exactly in 37 seconds. So once I have started this breakout with you, you see a button which is called main room. And if you click on this button, you see different rooms. There's a room called tasks. So maybe you might look for tasks and find something there. There's a room called YouTube, chat, east, west. And then there's a room called I know the code. So if you have collected your letters, you're going to have 5 minutes time. Maximum, we look that we can do it together. But if you have collected all the letters, we see each other in the room, which is called I know the code. So what we are going to do is we start the breakout now. You switch the rooms and you search for letters. Have fun with it. Ready? 5 seconds. So here we go. Thanks a lot, Anna Maria. This was the, normally I get the bell. So here we go. Enjoy experiencing, discovering the rooms and finding the missing letters. Hello, everyone. So welcome back. Okay, we have some noises there. I don't know if you have a background noise, please be so kind to mute your microphone. There is this magic button on the keyboard, which is called M like microphone, M like mute. So let's look a few minutes behind the curtain. If questions are coming up, please write them already down. We're going to collect them in about 12 minutes time. So you're going to have the possibility to share them with us. If there's a very quick question, I think, Anna Maria, we can always answer them quite quickly. So let's share a little bit of how this looks like from the background. And we have two things. So the first thing is I want to share my screen with you. So what you see right now is in the background that this is the session we are running. This is the session we are live. And the good news is that we can, of course, look on the setup here. And one of the things I personally like a lot is, as a facilitator, I can prepare. So when I have the design of a workshop, of a meeting, I can prepare, of course, an agenda, but I can also prepare all the tools and the toolbox. And what you see right now is live, which tools we have and which we have already used or which you have experienced. And there's different elements in there. We have experienced 2 breakouts. One was the smooth checkout. We can, of course, look in there how this looks like. You can see you have been in these groups, and we have a breakout name, and we have also prepared that there's minimum of 4 participants per group, a duration, and we have different tools prepared here. In that case, we have prepared something which you can see here. It's a flashcard deck. So the whole thing has been prepared, right? So nobody of us had to configure that live. This was there at a button, right? The same it was for the other experience. for the rooms. So when I go in there, we have certain settings, and I'll show you in a minute how we can create a new breakout. But there is all this set up. So you have a room with tasks, and you see there was a Google slide in there. We have a YouTube with the video. We have the room chat. We have the asking for help. And we have also prepared the tasks. And as you have found out is that with the tasks, you can select whether you see the tasks in all rooms or just in certain ones. The code S was, for example, in the room with the tasks. For YouTube, there was also an S in there. And then there were other tasks in there. For the chats, for example, have a look into the room chat. And so we can configure the rooms. We can have a similar experience. So we can say everybody has the same thing in the room, but we can also adjust the rooms. And think about that like you have different topics to discuss and people are walking around. You need rooms. And sometimes you want to have just rooms that you have groups and people working on the same tasks. Then you use the same tasks. But we have prepared all of that as well, also in terms of the tools. And of course, we always can also look there and change participants. But this is what we have prepared. And preparation is key, many people say. And when you're good prepared, you have less stress and more fun. So I think, Anna Maria, we said we want to do a quick challenge, right? You wanted to challenge me, if I'm correct.
I'm going to challenge you so bad. But first, Pareshi has a question, so I'm going to pass it over to her. Pareshi, the mic is yours.
Yeah. So, like, I'm not able to see the full screen of Erich sir. So, I want to remove that little participants bar that's coming on my right side. How can I do it?
Participants par, that's always there, Parisha. You can just minimize it if you want there, or you can say gallery view. I can move it here. So now I think, Parisha, it's better because you don't see some of the videos double. Is it correct?
No, it's the same.
It's still there on your end, right? So the idea is when we share the screen that you still can see the other participants.
Okay.
Is this answering your question? So this is always there, the gallery view. And you can
will always see us and you will always see the chat. You can close the chat on your end, and then the screen that Erich is sharing is going to become a bit bigger. I hope this helps. Yes. Okay. Julie is having a question. I'm going to pin this, Julie, in the chat, and we're going to come back to it later on, if that's okay.
Yeah, thanks for
the challenge that I have for you, Erich, is I want to see how fast you are in preparing a breakout from scratch, like nothing is set up there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you to add a tool and create a breakout. And I am going to set a timer for us to see how long does it take you to create a new breakout from scratch. Right. I would like you to set the name, the time, assign tasks to the rooms, and assign tools to the rooms. Are you up for this challenge?
I'll take it. And we can say, this is sometimes some things that happen. You are in a live session and you need a breakout because a discussion is coming up or it's endless discussion. And as a facilitator, you say, okay, let's split the large group into smaller groups and let's set up a breakout. And you need to have it quite quickly, but not only split them up, but also give them some hints. So I'm ready. Let's see what we can do, Anna Maria.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to start the timer, and that's going to be your cue to start. Okay, have fun. Speedy fingers.
Is it already running?
Running now.
Okay, I see it here up there. Right. So what I do is, of course, I add a new tool. And what I want is a new breakout. So in that case, let's say we want to have different rooms. We have 20 people. We want to have a quick discussion about what is relevant. And we want to have 5 rooms. You can see the rooms are created. And what I think is we're going to need maybe 7 minutes of discussion. And what is the task? discuss about what you need next in all rooms. And the second one task is find your top 3 ideas. That we have 2 tasks. And maybe we also want to add a tool here. And to make it quite simple, we can say, let's give them a whiteboard and let's assign it to all rooms. And use this whiteboard, and that's assigned to all rooms. And I press save. And the final thing is to say, of course, to assign the participants. And we're going to show that to you in about 2 minutes. We can do that randomized, and I'm done. So what is the time, Anna Maria? Can you still hear me?
You're mute, Anna Maria.
Anna Maria.
Hi. Hello, everyone. So the timer was set for 2 minutes, and you have 38 seconds left.
Good.
So that's what, a minute and a half to launch a breakout on the fly with tasks and everything. I mean, I think you deserve a round of applause. And I'm going to do here something. I'm going to enable the soundboard for all, so we can give it up for Erich. So if you go now to your React.
Now I'm feeling like in ice hockey, Martin, right, in Sweden. Good. Guys, this is not always about time, but think about, you have a break, right? You can use a break for 5 minutes and you set up a breakout session. So you can have it very quickly. That's basically the idea, and you have it in a nice way. Yeah? It's not just sending people into rooms, but you give them also some guidance. What else?
We have a question in the chat.
Yes, please.
Which is quite an important question. Please. What's the difference between rooms and groups?
Right. So what is the difference between rooms and groups? The way how I learned it, groups, everybody knows. Groups means I have people, participants into groups with certain names. So we know that. That's the standard breakout, as I would call it, right? And you can, of course, assign people, randomize, but in groups, you cannot switch the rooms. So you're in a group, and the facilitator decides in what group you are at the moment, or you need to align beforehand. With rooms, you have this freedom either to assign participants, or you can also have rooms where people can walk around and switch. That's my easiest explanation I have. So think about tables, think about different topic of rooms, so where you have different topics. Think about, maybe some of you are familiar with World Coffee, where you discuss different questions, then use rooms. When you want people to discuss on the same thing, on the same tasks, then I use normally groups. I hope this is answering the question. I don't know from whom it was, but thanks a lot for the question. It was in the chat, right?
Renate.
Yeah.
Okay, so we still have some time for some Q&As at the end. Keep them also coming in the chat, but we've also prepared a session. So there's actually a session going on in parallel to our session. There's a whole different setting that goes on there. We have our bunch of participants. So Erich is going to share his screen, and we are going to see together how this facilitator view is when the breakouts are live, because that's something that we haven't seen.
Yeah. So if you're ready for a little bit more of what is very helpful for facilitators when you are in a session, this is something. We are in a boot camp. Yeah, we see, some of you might see it the first time, so just digest it. And if you're more experienced, you will like a lot what you see right now. So let me share my screen. I share again my browser. Anna Maria, let me know if you can see that. Or
yes,
good,
it's
cool,
perfect.
So what we have here, okay, and we started an hour ago. What we have here is a live session running, and we are together with a few participants. And what we want to do, here's also Anna Maria. So what we want to do is we want to say, let's get into a breakout. So we have prepared something here. It's the first conversation round. And I hope you can see that we have an agenda here. So everything I have prepared, I don't, of course, I could go to Toolbox and start it from here, or I could go to the agenda here, but it's very easy because everything is in one place. So what I can do is basically, if I want to start the breakout, I press start. And I do that right now, and you see what is happening. So the breakout is starting, and what is actually then happening is that I am automatically in a room which is the facilitator's room. And Anna Maria in that session is also a facilitator. So what we have is we have our own room where we can talk. And that's a big advantage. I haven't seen that before. I mean, of course, you can set up meeting rooms and you can switch back and forth, but here you have it when you start the breakout session. And the other thing you see is, this is called, by the way, Breakout Overview, that the other participants are in here. So yes, that's how it's basically running. And then there's different things we can do with this Breakout Overview. We can, for example, go there and we can observe. And I do that. Anna Maria, can you be so kind? I will jump into the room tour, and please watch. I think you can hear me. I'm right now joining the room. So as a facilitator, I can always join a room. And of course, Anna Maria, just a moment, I can go back. So you might be familiar with this. A facilitator is going to a group and you talk with it. But sometimes you disturb them a lot. So sometimes we just walk by with the group or the table when we were in seminar rooms or hotels. And we can do that here as well. So let's go in again and let's have a look up here on the right hand side where you also have the tasks and the help with you discovered. And what you can see right now is you see that there's also a caterer that Anna Maria, as one of the facilitators, is right now observing. So you have always the full transparency, and of course we inform the participants before that. So this is how it is looking like from this perspective. Good. What else? Let's go back and let's jump back to the breakout overview. And here I also want to change back to the actual size. I made it a little bit large, so I hope it's better now again. The other thing we want to show you is how is this looking like. Here it is already. When somebody's asking for help, because you have done that as well. And it's also the click of a button, and I can go in there and I can go to this group and I can ask, oh, you asked for help. What do you need? So I'm jumping in. I answer the question. I jump out. This is like the observing. That's when there's asking for help. There's other things we can do in here. For example, sometimes participants, especially when we're in groups, might say, maybe I'm in the wrong group, or I want to jump somewhere else. Or sometimes people, I hope, rarely fall out because of a technical issue. But what we always can do is, for example, if I say I was in the room with here in the Black Widow, and then Sandy says, but I also have something to contribute in the other groups. Can you bring me to the other group? And the answer is yes, because what I do is I just drag Sandy, for example, from here to the Iron Man. She, of course, needs to confirm that. And a few seconds later, she is in the other group and she can continue. So I can just drag and drop participants. Always be aware, do that when you have informed them about that. The other thing you see here is we can see, for example, the group Black Widow has already finished the tasks, versus the group Thor didn't tick the task. So I could go there and I could say, how is it going, guys? Yeah. And maybe there's another scenario, 2-3 minutes to go, then we open up for the questions. Sometimes it could happen that people fall out or people join late. And I hope, Anna Maria, maybe you can show that how it is. Because if people fall out and rejoin with the link, you see that maybe they're like this, they're coming in. So I let them in. You can decide whether it's an open session or it's a closed session. For example, here we have also Pareji coming in. And I don't know why this is happening, but we have Alice here. And what I can do is I can, of course, go into the room, or I know Alice, for example, was before with Sammy. So I could, for example, go to him and say, Alice, welcome back. I will send you right now, either in the same group or in the other one. I go back to the breakout overview. And what I, of course, do is drag and drop. And then the people are back again in their groups. This was already a lot of information. Let's show you two final things. You have seen that we have been broadcasting to you, so we can go there and say, this session finishes in 1 minute, right? So this is a broadcast which I can send from this breakout overview either to all rooms or to selected rooms. I could also, for example, go there and say, hi guys, in the tour, have you seen the tasks? How is it going? And I can broadcast just in a room. And sometimes you discuss with people and say, okay, maybe we need 1-2 minutes more. And you see up the timer here. And what you can do, this is the final thing I show you, is you always can go and say, let's extend this session, for example, for 3 minutes. And then there's two things happening. Number one, everybody gets the information into the rooms that the session has been extended, and the timer here has updated as well. So many useful things. And yeah, I will stop sharing here.
Erich,
that we have enough
Erich,
time.
sorry. Before you stopped sharing, could you go back and
Yes.
show us one more thing, please?
Yes. What is one more thing you want to see, Anna?
Okay, could we see how you observe, and then maybe I'm going to join in the dummy session. I'm going to join the room where Pareshi is with my camera and mic, so that I can talk to her. So you can show us in this session how you observe that. Okay, one.
Perfect. I do. So please go in there, and then I will observe. That's right. That you see how this observing screen is looking like. And when I press the observe button, it looks like this. So you can see also the faces, and you can hear what they are talking. You don't see what is on the screen, but you just see the videos and you hear them talk. That's how it's looking like from an observer perspective. A little bit similar to what you do in a normal hotel room, right? You're walking by a table and you see the faces, and you sometimes hear what they're talking, whether they are discussing the right questions, whether they need some help, and so on. Yes, I think Anna Maria, this was the last thing. Guys, your brain has already received a lot of information right now. So let's use this last minutes also for some Q&A, and we want to also collect the questions. A very simple way here is, if you have questions, please put it in here in this poll. You can write it in here, and we can turn on some music. And when you have sent your question, you can also give hearts or likes to questions which you think this is a good question. So you don't have to enter all the same questions. You can also look then on the questions of the others. So let's use that for, okay, there's first questions coming in as you see. Let's leave it open for another minute and 8 seconds, and let's see how many questions are coming. And let's keep it. I was talking a lot. Normally I turn on some music to support the brain, but maybe it's good if we have a little bit of silence sometime as well to think about questions. So thanks for all the questions that are already coming in there, and then we go through most of the questions as we are a larger group. Or Anna Maria, we make sure that the questions are answered and sent out with the recordings as well. Okay, already 5 questions. Thanks a lot for that. And let's stop it here. If there's additional questions coming, let's put it classically in the chat, I would say. So we can say end poll, right? And so what you see right now is that some people have used this liking feature. No questions. All my questions were answered in the session. Good. So this was this one, the first one. Let's go to the other one. And there is a question. All facilitators can edit the breakout rooms, and the answer is very simple. Yes. So once you have the facilitator role, you can edit the breakout rooms, and you can also split up. For larger groups, we work as 2 or 3, and we always split up. Yeah. Pareshi has a comment here. Thanks. I'll give you the mic.
Yeah, I'm facing a problem in the chat box. So when I'm scrolling up or down, it's not working. I have to use that bar that is on the corner to drag up and down.
Oh,
I'm facing this problem both in my app and in my Chrome browser.
right. So maybe Jessica, can you help me, or can you have a chat with Pareshi about what the specific technical issue is? Pareshi, Jessica is taking. Yeah. Jessica is taking care of you in the chat that we can sort it because I think it's an individual thing, and I continue with a few more questions if this is okay. Yeah. What else do we have here? Is it possible to pre-assign a large number of participants into rooms? Is it possible to reassign these people during the session to another pre-assigned room? Here is what I do. Pre-assign if they're not logged in. Anna Maria, please correct me, but this is not possible. But I can tell you what I did. I had, when was it, 3 weeks ago, 50 people in the room. And all right.
Let me just mute.
Yeah. Always give disturbance to the room. So I'm so 50 people. What I did is we started the session 20 minutes earlier so that people could get like involved around the table. And in the background, I have designed for 5 breakout sessions for a full day, all the participants. So I had a list, I had an Excel where I did that, and I have prepared that in the first 15 minutes. Or you could also split up and say somebody is doing that in the first few minutes in the background. This is the way how we dealt with that. I don't know from who this answer was. Is this answer or this question answered? Yes, no, maybe. Yeah. Cool. I take another one here because I don't know the answer for that. Can you turn off GIFs in the comments? They are very distracting. I know many people like GIFs.
Not at the moment, unfortunately.
I don't know. I think this is a feature which has been added a few weeks ago. I know that many people like GIFs. Sometimes they are distracting, but I think it's not possible right now. In the chat, you have this chatting possibility and you have the GIFs as well, if I understand it correctly.
I think it might be best to just advise participants to not use it first if we want to be less distracted.
Yeah. Normally, what I can do from what I can share from my experience, it has become a usual thing to use the chat for many things. Yeah. So here in Butter, you have found that you can have reactions, so we don't need the chat, right? So here you have tools in breakouts, so you don't need the chat. So why I'm saying that is, I think the chat is helpful if you want to ask a question, but I think the chat has become very distracting because many people are chatting in parallel. So my job as the facilitator, when there's much noise going on in the chat, is to make it visible and say, guys, what's going on? Because we just can do one thing. Either we chat or we discuss in here. Sometimes it's an indicator that it might be boring, yeah, or that they don't understand the task. And then I just use this as a thing. Good, this was a comment around the chat. This question, how long did it take to feel fully confident using these features? How much practice? If I look to myself, I'm a person for many years. I have an IT background, web-based. I'm using web-based tools for 20 years. I'm just giving it a try and I'm learning while I'm doing it. When I look at my colleagues, usually we do a 3-step approach. Yeah, we let people observe in a facilitator role. We make co-facilitation role, and then we switch the roles. And I'm a support for people in my team. So usually I use a 3-step process. And when you do that 3 times, you're fully confident because you need to observe, you need to learn parts of it and co-facilitate parts of it to see how it's working, to build the confidence. And then you take over the full responsibility and you're supported by somebody else. That's what I can say. So for me, it's rather easy, but this is what I would recommend in terms of useful steps. What I can say about Butter, when you prepare and when you get used to it, what I see is a big, quick learning curve on the 2nd and 3rd session happening, and smiles is coming back, or many smiles are there. That's what I have experienced in my team. I don't know what other experiences are. If somebody's using Butter already, so I can maybe also give this question to other, I don't know, Anna Maria, Jessica, or to other participants in the room. What is your experience?
I can only speak from my experience. I think I facilitated 2 sessions before feeling confident with the tool. So it went quite fast because I found it very intuitive and I find everything I need very easily without having to click a lot and go deeper. So that's for me a plus when using the tool.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have to, but again, it's a very biased perspective just to share because we're very familiar with the tool already. But I found that when I started using the tool, the fact that I can structure it against my agenda really helped a lot in terms of minimizing the things that can happen or go wrong in a room, and also almost like advancing myself, like using the basic engagement functions first before I do use it to collaborate, so on and so forth, also helped with my own learning curve. So keeping sessions simple and then advancing from there.
Yeah, I can fully
Martin also.
underline that. I can underline that, Jessica. Start with simple group work, start with simple rooms. Martin, another comment here as well. And I think then we also go into the checkout. And if some people can stay longer, we stay in here, no problem at all. Martin, please.
Yeah, just saying the feature release of Butter is so quick. It's so wonderful. So it is sometimes that's my only challenge to keep up to date. So not sudden, because when the new releases are out and suddenly something has changed, we need to keep up to date on that. But that's just a positive comment from my side.
Martin, thanks a lot for that. And the final question is, when observing, can you see the mirror board? No, you cannot see the mirror board. You cannot see the mural board. You cannot see the whiteboard. You cannot see the Google Slides. You cannot see the flashcards. You just see the videos and you just hear the audio. When you want to see that, join the room, and then you can, of course, see everything. Anna Maria, there is another comment from you, please.
Yes, just a comment here regarding Miro or mural. I usually keep that open in a second tab. So while participants are in breakouts, I can observe their conversation in Butter and I can see their sticky notes and their progress in Miro in my other tab without having to go into the session, if that's helpful for you to track what happens on the board.
Good. So for the official part, there's 2 small things to do. By the way, a third one as well. There's a big round of thank you and applause that you joined here. And let's have a final question and one more thing. And the final question is the following. We just had let's say 53 minutes of Butter breakout experience right now. So just from a gut feeling, to what extent do you feel now more confident or also more inspired to give breakouts in Butter a try? Is it like less confident? Is it the same? Is it more confident? Is it a lot more confident, inspired? Because the starting point is a feeling, right? If you feel that you want to try it, that's a good starting point for all of these things. Yeah, I think that's this one. 11, 14 votes. Okay, thanks a lot for that. Let's see what the votes are. Can you see that? So 11 said a lot more confident and inspired. So thanks for activating the brain and listening and also experiencing together, and more confident, 3 of you. Thanks a lot for that. So we have achieved a next step, maybe with Butter breakouts. And let me summarize that here with a final slide. This is my personal view. It's not aligned with Butter, but what I can say is I like it to be well prepared. Yeah, with the names, the tasks, the tools, the setup, and the time. And also I can react easy and smooth while live. This is why I have removed Zoom. I have removed Teams. I have to use it sometimes with clients. Yes, but for me, I like it to have something which is running smooth for the participants in the browser, and also which is smooth for me as a facilitator, which makes my life easy. Is it less stressed? Yes, it is. Is it always without stress? No. There's always surprises with technology, even with Butter. Martin was doing something, and we always find some things out, and also with Zoom. But this is technology, and it's the same like in a hotel room. You know, some participants might have strange comments, and such things are happening. So, having said that, I'm still into the room. I think let's stop the official recording, and if there's additional comments, if there's additional questions, we are still here for you guys.
Thank you so much, Erich. It was a lovely session. I have just enabled the soundboard for everyone so we can show you all how much we appreciate you putting this session together for us. Go there!
And here's the yes song again. So maybe you give it a try and say yes. Breakouts virtually can work. Maybe you want to give it a try for Butter.
Thanks a lot for joining, everyone. Hopefully I see you tomorrow for the mural integration. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. It was great to see you here again. Open-ending session. Stay if you have questions that are left unanswered, and I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.
So I say yes. Yeah,